Alrighty everyone, welcome back. It is now the beginning of June of 2023, and we are just on the horizon from the marketing of the Ahsoka Tano series to reach its peak before the final trailer debuts by the beginning of July to really prepare it for its August release date window, and how John and Dave are really preparing to also really kind of kickstart their full slate of Star Wars TV shows and upcoming Star Wars movies as well. This is Mike Zero. Subscribe if you're new and like this video to see future Star Wars updates. I'm also on Twitter at Mike01. I thank you all so very much for the great and kind support, and without wasting too much of your time, let's get right into the subject. Now, what's interesting about the whole Gina Carano situation that occurred well over 2 years ago at this point, we know that from February to March of 2021, it was a very big period where a lot of fans really got divided and had different opinions about Gina Carano's, firing by Kathleen Kennedy. A lot of fans would say that she deserved it, other fans would say that she did not deserve this, and it has only created a further divide within the fandom, and Disney and Lucasfilm, yes, realize that fully, and they are trying to create a very big turnaround by rehiring her in upcoming projects. However, what Disney CEO Bob Iger recently had to say has a lot to do with a deep, somewhat heartfelt apology. Whether or not it's genuine, I have no idea. It could very well be easily just a little marketing move on their end, or a business move to make them seem more likable, so to speak. But I digress. Let's get right into all of this. Now, we know that everything related to actress Gina Carano has been a very controversial piece. Now, currently both Disney and Lucasfilm are beginning to focus on their new Star Wars projects. However, recently Disney CEO Bob Iger made a very deep apology to all Star Wars fans by delivering the following. One thing that we have learned over the years is that it's best to listen to your fan base and the community that supports your projects. Looking back at Season 3 of Mando, we here at Disney feel we handled the entire Gina Carano situation unprofessionally, and that we apologize deeply about how we handled the entire situation that prevented her from making her appearance in the third season. It was a very tough scenario that we were put into, and a sensitive one as well. We will admit that we could have handled that way better than we did, and though Kathy Kennedy did make that call, we should have instructed Kathy on how to handle it in advance. We realize that all actors, apart from our projects, are human beings, and we want to make sure that we keep that mindset in play for the rest of our upcoming projects to never meet a situation like that again. Now, let me just pause here quick about what Bob Iger is saying, is that basically what he is putting out there is that it took him this long to realize that all of these actors and actresses have feelings and that they are human beings and that this is a job to them. Their careers are on the line, essentially, right? And so when you have someone like Carano that was fired in such an unprofessional way, I must add, it was very mishandled. Kathleen Kennedy did not know anything of what she was doing, and it fits the bill. It always does. Everything that Kathleen Kennedy does always comes across as very unprofessional or very controversial. So at least Bob Iger is putting it out there that he and others at Disney are very sorry about this situation, and that they are very much apologetic about how Gina was handled. But you know what? At the same exact time, why not just come out and say stuff like this like a day or two after it actually happened? Disney was very quiet for a while, until I would say maybe about 3 months later, where Bob Chapek really started to say a couple of things about Gina and how that too was unprofessional. But look, when we actually see what's going on here, we can see that Disney is trying to improve its image, their face, if you will, how people view them in the public. They want to be this company that seems like that they care about everybody equally, and let's be honest, for a very long time, they haven't really been like that at all. So when you look at stuff like this, about how they treated John Boyega, how they treated Gina Carano, and all of these different scenarios, it really just leads you to wonder, can Disney really turn things around? Well, it's going to take a very long time of creating multiple, consistent, successful Star Wars installments to convince fans that they are finally handling Star Wars in a proper way. Moving on, alright? Now he goes on to elaborate. we never intended to cause any kind of emotional harm to someone like Gina, and that we are actually working on a remedy is all I will say right now. Miss Carano never deserved the treatment she was given at Lucasfilm, and deserved to have handled this in a private matter, like everyone else does in the real working world. We own up to that mistake, and we are holding ourselves accountable for any kind of conflict that we may have created because of these poor actions on our end. We wish everyone the best when it comes to the talents joining our series of many franchises. We hope everyone can understand where we are coming from, and I thank you for your time. Now again, Bob Iger is really trying hard, in my opinion, to boost his image before he departs in 2024. There's been a lot of reports that he wants to leave Disney by next year before the board fires him and replaces him. He doesn't want that on his track record or on his record at all as a businessman. He doesn't want that. So he would rather step down voluntarily, leaving things on a good note, and calling it a day. You know, we all know that when Bob Iger stepped down previously, when he was let go, and Bob J. Peck was brought in, that was all pretty much pre-planned. We all knew that Bob Iger was eventually going to come back. That was basically Iger's retirement or semi-retirement that got reversed. And so it really wasn't that big of a surprise to me, to be honest. I expected that to happen. But when you look at stuff like this, it does make you wonder, is he being genuine, or is he just being a businessman trying to increase the likability of a company like Disney, which, by the way, has been getting very heavily criticized lately on multiple fronts? Look at what happened with the Galactic Star Cruiser Hotel. It's a failure. It's closing this September, unfortunately. There's a lot of talks that they want to turn it into just a simple Star Wars themed hotel, you know, keep it very simple and easygoing, stuff like that. But the other end of the spectrum is this. You know, we also know that they are allowing John and Dave to do whatever they want to do, so they're being genuine on that front at least, you know, allowing creative freedom and allowing John and Dave to adapt all of the Legends content as much as possible. So, look, I think that at the end of the day, too, we got to realize that John and Dave got this great opportunity because of Bob Iger, so I do give him some credit for that, but I will admit that I'm still a very big skeptic of Iger to this day. I'm not really a big supporter of him. I don't advocate his business style, especially with the Disney parks. I don't accept that at all. But when you look at stuff like Star Wars and the MCU and where it's been going, they're going to have to work hard, efficiently, and consistently to really turn this around. And it's all starting with Ahsoka, and they're counting on that. In fact, there's a lot of Disney executives that do believe, through and through, that Ahsoka will be the home run of Disney Plus Star Wars, and they do want to make it eventually the new flagship over The Mandalorian, to kind of make it like the live-action Rebels of our time. And that'll be interesting if it gets to that point. If it does get to that point, so be it. I'm all for it. So overall, guys, you know, drop a comment below. Fill me in what you all have to say about this. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, you know, let me know what you guys have to say about the whole Gina situation, and I'll catch you guys next time.
From night